Aloha, Shamans, and welcome to our little corner of the galaxy here in this dimensional space called EarthStar Spiritual Center in Greensboro, North Carolina, United States of America. So thank you for joining us tonight. We are live. It's Friday, May 10th, 2024. It is 9 o'clock here where we are. Our topic tonight will be solar flares and energy management, and go over some ideas about how we can use this wonderful energy for ascension and self-healing and transmutation. Okay? And we are your hosts tonight, Dale and Jeanne Stacy. We are the Abbots of EarthStar Spiritual Center.
Thank you all for being with us tonight, and got an exciting show, I think. So welcome, and like and chat with us if you're here in the live now. So we want to know that you're here, so we won't just be talking to each other.
Exactly. Good. So thank you for piping in. Also, for those who are going to watch on the replay, thank you for carrying that energy on and share it with some folks if you think it's deemable or redeemable, rather. Okay. So tonight, then, we want to talk about some solar flares or solar activity. And the reason is because we have currently 6 solar flares or CMEs headed our way. Those are coronal mass ejections. So we've got some hot radiated plasma headed to good old Mother Gaia. Matter of fact, you said today it was lunchtime. The first one got here around lunchtime today. So Maya, thanks for being here. Hope you're dealing with the solar flares. You know how you redheads get around this solar energy. So make sure you hula that away, right? Good. So I've got a link in the show notes too to Suspicious Observers with Ben Davidson. Now, he's been doing these sun reports for decades, I think at least 2, and we've followed him just about that long. So he gives a morning and also daily sun reports if something important goes on, like today. So since we have 6 headed our way, which according to all the people we've read about today, it's been quite a while since this has happened, as if it has ever happened. So lots of good energy coming our way. We want to make sure as shamans that we learn how to deal with the energy, the influx, just like any other energy. And, keep in mind that Mother Earth and Father Sun are sentient beings. They are alive. They know what they're doing. And there is no happenstance or chance as far as the cosmos goes. The structures are in place to allow us to have the freedom to use our own unique flow to move through the structure. So know that timing is always part of the grand scheme. And as shamans, we want to make sure that our minds, our hearts, and our spirits are geared to withstand this type of energy pulse. Okay. All right, well, let's get right to our slides then and see what we think we know. Okay, so solar flares, energy management. It is May 10th, 2024. And we are EarthStar Spiritual Center. Been doing this since 2002. We are a multi-faith center for church, for living Aloha. Our core ideals or principles are to the left there, spelling out Aloha. So all loving God, love, oneness, heart path, and as above, so below. Some of the classes we have going on this month, we've got Qigong 2. That'll be actually next month, be June 1st. But we have Huna on May 18th on that Saturday. Huna 1, and then we have the first class of 4 from our EarthStar School of Intuition. So if you want to work on your intuition, you want to make sure that it is honed and prepared for things to come, then check your own intuition as far as whether you want to attend the class. So that'll be on May 19th, June 9th, July 14th, and August 11th. And just go to the show notes and you'll find the links for that. And just remember, throughout all this, solar flares or tidal waves or tornadoes or hurricanes or beautiful sunny days and rainbows, you are always divine. You always have been, you are, and you will be forever. So just know that you are awesome, you are beautiful, and you are perfect. So make sure you know that, you look it, you act like it, and you be that. Awesome, beautiful, and perfect. That's our default statement. That's who we've always been, that's who we are now, and that's who we'll always be. All right, so let's go over some shamanic life coaching discussions like we do on our Friday nights. So just a couple of quick slides to put up to get you in a good frame of mind as far as making sure that you're loving and healing yourself, and also you're aware of the relationships in and all around you. So let's take a look at some energy givers and some activities we do that are energy takers.
So the energy givers then are water.
Yes, water. And the one that takes the energy is sugar. So be careful with your sugar intake.
Sunlight.
Yeah, we got to get outside. Okay. You've got to make sure that you understand the sun is good for us. And despite what we've heard for so many years, we want to put chemicals on our body to keep us hidden from the sun. Just go out in the sun and have some light. Okay, make some vitamin D. So you don't want to sit inside for too long.
And music.
Oh, isn't music great? Anything that'll help us to get out of our overthinking. Yeah, definitely. Overthinking will definitely zap our energy. So put on your favorite kind of music, because remember, those tones are speaking to our cosmic and celestial bodies, our chakras in every cell. So listen to that favorite music.
So dancing, this one's for you, Amanda.
Yeah, I always want to dance. I always want to move in some way. We want to make sure we manage our own flow, right? So, so when we don't exercise, and I don't mean going to the gym and doing that all the time. I mean, that's a great way if that's your thing. But just don't feel like you have to go to that much extreme. So, when we don't have any exercise, we spend too much time online. I get all that zaps our energy. Wait, let me check in. HEIDI Fire Owl with us tonight. Hello, HEIDI Fire Owl. Thanks for joining.
Can you guys see me? Okay, good.
We see you.
Okay.
Beautiful hair and glasses and face. We see you. Just going over some shamanic life coaching slides right now. Just some things that zap us and some things that energize us. Right.
Okay.
So laughing.
Laughing. Oh, laughing. Isn't that a wonderful one? And of course, anger and depression, right? That's going to zap your energy tremendously, exponentially. When you're around angry and depressed people, I imagine it probably only takes you about 10 seconds and you start to actually feel sorry for yourself because you have to be around these folks. Okay? So make sure you manage that energy and remember, laugh.
So positive self-talk.
As opposed to negative self-talk. Those times you've called yourself stupid or ignorant or what are you thinking? Saying you even say your own name out loud, speaking to yourself in third person, right? So make sure we don't do that. Remember, you're a divine being. We already talked about that, right? You're always divine, always have been, and always will be.
Right. Self-care.
As opposed to pleasing others to the point that you become a doormat. Okay? Remember that if you want to be in service to others, you got to make sure your car has gas in it so you can go and do your things. Same thing for your body. You've got to have energy to be able to be of service to people. So make sure you understand if you're being a doormat, understand all the spiritual reasons for that, the mental thinking for that.
And love.
As opposed to hate, of course. And I would invite you to try to get that word out of your vocabulary. Try to keep that word from being expressed through your mouth and even in every thought. Even if it's just simple stuff like, oh, I just hate being late, or I hate pizza, or I hate this or that. We don't want hate energy. That's going to zap your energy exponentially. We want the love energy, aloha energy, right, in every moment.
So living now, living in the now.
Yes, living in the present time. When we start living in the past, we're dragging up old stuff, or when you drag up stuff from the past, we'll clear it and bless it, move on. Allow that to be a point of empowerment. So make sure you live right now because this is where you are. So this is where we want to be.
And good sleep.
Yeah, you got to have rest. You got to have some kind of sleep. When you don't have any rest, that's going to zap your energy because all your energy is going to just trying to maintain you being vertical, breathing, heart beating, getting some food and coffee. So make sure your time's not taken up with that. It keeps you from doing your assigned duties as far as your mission goes here on planet Earth. All right, wonderful. All right, next slide. Just little quick things for shamanic life coaching, just to be aware of. So 10 things that cost absolutely nothing, yet they change everything if you can integrate this into your life.
Number 1, be energized.
Yes, be energized. Don't be a wet rag wherever you go. All mopey, sad sack. Nobody wants to be around that. I promise you, nobody wants to be around that. Okay? So be energized some way, somehow, in mind, body, or spirit.
Be passionate. You need to work on this.
Be passionate. I'm a direct speaking Sagittarius, right? So be passionate. Yeah. Passion is our number one fuel for creating our reality. So be passionate for people, places, and things.
And be prepared.
Yes, be prepared for what you do. Make sure you do a little study, a little research, some little background checks. Make sure you understand what you're about to embark upon, and so that you'll be fully prepared, or at least somewhat prepared. You'll have an indication of how you want to steer your energy.
And be teachable.
Yes, be teachable. Remember, even though you may have done a particular task for 10 years, that doesn't mean that you can't learn from someone else that's been doing it less time. Okay, allow yourself to be open. Allow that little ego to kind of just step to the side, so that the large ego, the cosmic ego, can learn and find other ways to assimilate this wonderful energy, this information that's all around us.
And be on time.
Yes, try to be on time. I know time's a relative thing, but when other people are waiting for you, you're meeting other people. You want to be respectful of other people and their time, that they were there on time. So be on time.
And do extra.
Yes, always do more than you promised, right? Go beyond and do those things extra, because remember, if you're doing things because you're passionate, it's not going to matter that you do extra, because it's not going to feel like it, because that is what you want to do. You love doing and being who you are.
And have a positive attitude. Again,
a positive attitude. Remember, of course, being a Sagittarius, we're all eternal optimists. So, we always have a positive attitude. Now, when I say always, I mean, I may have times where my positive attitude is not 100%, but that only lasts about 5 seconds, and then I move on, because I remind myself I have a positive attitude about everything. So be positive and allow that to work with your passion, and you're going to find that many, many things get created in your life that are wonderful.
And have a strong work ethic.
Yes, got to have a strong work ethic, right? We just can't work and just do one or two things, and you just, I think I'll do that later. Well, that's okay, but you got to make sure you do that later. Okay? Make sure you follow through. So have a strong work ethic in whatever you're doing. Remember that we're working for humanity, we're working for love, and we're working with passion. So your work ethic would not be any question at all, because you love who you are and you love what you're doing.
And make an effort.
Yes, make an effort beyond the surface of who you're around and what you're doing. Make a valid effort. Okay? And that way people are able to see that you're truly passionate about who you are and what you do.
And use good body language.
Yeah, you can't be slumped over when you're meeting people, talking with people, doing God's work here. Just like when you're not feeling good and you got on your gray holy sweatpants with that big tub of ice cream sitting on the couch having a pity me party, right? So have good body language. I mean, it goes along with being energized, being passionate, being prepared and teachable, being on time, doing extra, having a positive attitude, strong work ethic, making a valiant effort to do the best you can and being the best you can be, right? So use that good body language, right? So heads up, eyes front, eyes, ears open, and listen, and then do your work. And remember, we're all about making planet Aloha. Okay. All right, so just a couple of slides to help us with our shamanic life coaching, give you some things to think about as we go through this beautiful solar energy that's about to embark on us. So let's get right into that. If there's no questions, Yeah, good. All right. HEIDI, just jump in anytime. Okay, good. Okay. All right, so tonight then we're going to talk about solar flares and energy management. So in other words, how can we transmute this wonderful energy to use for ascension and for self-healing, right? For consciousness, being aware, alert, opening up new ways of being and thinking. Okay? And now when I say ascension, I'm not talking about making our way to 4D or to the next density, next lifetime. Remember, from our standpoint, ascension means any time that we're able to see, hear, feel, and be loved. Every second of that is an ascended second. So that's what we're speaking about, using the solar energy for ascension, helping us to be more loving and more aware of that love that's around us. All right, so let's just do some scientific stuff about the sun, just in case you don't remember all that stuff back in junior high or high school when we had that earth science. Remember, the sun rotates counterclockwise, just like Mother Earth does. And remember, not all planets in our solar system do that. I mean, right off, we know that Venus and Uranus, they go clockwise, right? So counterclockwise, and the sun really doesn't have a solid core like the Earth does. Earth, we're just this giant magnets in the center of Earth, that iron core, right? And it's just surrounded by crystals. That's what planet Earth is. But we know that the sun then is just full of plasma. Now, this is not plasma like in your blood. That's different. This is plasma being the fourth state of I guess, of what objects are, right? We have solid, we have liquid, we have gas, and then we have plasma. Okay, so plasma, think of it as electrified. It's got ions, it's atoms, electrons, and it can be shaped and used in many ways. Okay, and of course the sun is just full of that. Now, some plasma things that we know about, you probably aren't aware that lightning is plasma. The aurora borealis, right? The northern lights, right? That's got plasma all in there, right? Neon lights have plasma in them, right? In some form. So, plasma is all around us. And for those of you who are manly men out there and you use those plasma torches, right? Or you got to watch that stuff on TV like I do, those National Geographic shows, Discovery shows. And you see all these manly men using the plasma torches, and are cutting through this thick steel. So same thing. So plasma is all in the sun, 27 million degrees at the core. That's hot. Okay? And on the surface, 10,000 degrees, right? And our sun, basically, it could hold 1.3 million Earths. So it's quite a large object that's rotating there in the center of our galaxy, or center of our solar system. Now, things about solar flares. You can see the little sunspots you see on this image here. Let me blow that up for you so you can see that. Now, this is what was posted on Suspicious Observers today. And I have that link to his show. It's a YouTube show. He does it every day. I have that link in the show notes. But you see the little group of sunspots there in the lower right? Well, that's the current sunspots that have been generating these flares, these CMEs towards Mother Earth. Okay? So that's what's going on with that. So that's real, and that's today. Okay? Now, some names that we kind of use for solar flares. We got solar flares, coronal mass ejections, right, or CMEs, you often hear it called. Coronal holes. If you could imagine, like when that satellite takes a picture of the sun and it may look like it's cloudy around the sun. Well, imagine if there's a clear spot, just like there would be a clear spot like in the clouds, right, in a storm. Or, all that energy comes right through that clear spot and goes towards Mother Earth also and all the other planets around. Then filaments, that's when you see little light filaments that kind of bounce off the corona there. And they may go out, they may go back in, they kind of go all around. And then, of course, we have the solar wind. And all this can affect us as soon as 15 hours after it happens. And more than often, it's usually 3 to 4 days because, a lot of this is going about 1 million miles an hour. So, we got 90, between 91, 93, 94 million miles from the sun. So, yeah, it takes 3 or 4 days to get here. And I think today, like Jeanne said earlier, we've already had part of the sunspots or the CMEs have already impacted Earth around noon today. Okay? And I think that's the first one. Now, so we have 6 coming our way, coronal mass ejections. They've already started. This was a post from a Suspicious Observer today. And so it could last as long as 2.5 days or impact 2.5 days, but that's going to last 4 to 5 days. So now, today is Friday, so we're looking at Monday and Tuesday. This could be affecting people. And you see the little Suspicious Observers down at the bottom there on YouTube. So, and of course, you can go to the show notes. I've got the link, but you can go on his YouTube channel and then join his channel, and he posts every single day. And today, I think he's already posted twice, and he said he may do something later on just to give an update. Okay. Good. All right. So that's the scientific part. Yeah. All right, Heidi, anything? I know you study this and how things affect the body a lot. So anything about how this could affect us and what we can do with the CMEs and the solar energy, how we can use it for us?
So one thing is, you mentioned Suspicious Observers. So he has really good videos every day. And also there's a really good video that's been posted, Bill Weinstein, I believe, but it's on Dark Horse. And I can send you the link for that later too. But and it's a long one, but it's actually really good because
Okay.
it's really in depth. But as far as we are concerned, and the body and things that people will notice, there's a way that they measure all of these solar storms, and it's called the KP index. And basically what that is it's a chart that they use that they give it a 1 through 9. And so that's how they come up with these numbers of the of the impact. If they say it's a G4 or a K5 or whatever, they're using the KP index, which is a way to measure the magnetic impact that these solar storms are having. Why this is important and why we should be paying attention to this is because basically we are electrical beings. We are electrical beings, and we have a light body as well. So the electrical impulses mainly affect our heart. And if you think about a person who goes into cardiac arrest and they use the the shockers, it's basically their electrical impulses and to shock the heart. So all of these electrical magnetic impulses that are happening definitely are going to affect people who have had heart issues or blood pressure, anything that deals with the heart, because blood pressure deals with the heart, water, kidneys, and again, we are water and minerals are also. So the minerals are the spark. It's when I say we're electrical beings, so we have water and minerals, and the minerals are the spark for our nervous system, for our brain, and all of that. So when we're dealing with all these solar storms, people are going to feel, again, if you have any kind of heart issue or in the past or recent, you're gonna have maybe a lot of people go into AFib. During this time they see more heart attacks and things like that. Also seizures, anything that has to deal with the brain. So if your animals are having seizures at this time, or if a person that is prone to epilepsy or seizures or anything, just make sure that your water intake is good, that your minerals are balanced. And one way you can do that is by taking a really good ionic mineral. I recommend liquid. And if you need recommendations for that, you can always contact me and I can give you some recommendations for that, or I can Dale give you the information. You can post that too.
Yes.
So that's one thing that I would recommend. Crystals help also. Wearing a lot of quartz during solar storms is very grounding. It's very, very helpful. And being outside barefoot, grounding, we don't give enough credit to grounding. I know people talk about it, and I know people get tired of people saying, whatever, but I'm telling you, there's no other. Best medicine is free. It's totally free. Sunshine, water, getting outside with your bare feet. The best medicine's free. Sleep, all the things that you mentioned, staying away from sugar, processed foods, and especially during this time, sugar is one of those things that you really, really, really want to stay away from. It really affects your nervous system and all of that. So I just would recommend just trying to listen to your body, really. If you're tired, rest. If if you're starting to feel anxious, during this time, also during solar storms, a lot of people have the suicide rate goes up. People feel more depressed or anxious or paranoid or more fearful. The energies are heightened, And, you know, if you're not grounding, if you're eating too much sugar, if you're not getting enough rest, if you're putting too much on your plate, you're going to just be in that pilot mode, and really you're not going to feel well.
Yeah.
The other thing that people can be aware of is that if you have an autoimmune or have been diagnosed with an autoimmune, your body is going to feel like it's in a vice clamp. You're going to have a lot of pain. You are going to feel it physically in your joints and all of that. And again, it has to do with the water mineral balance. So you make sure that you're getting enough water, make sure that you're getting enough rest, and just understand that it will pass. It's just going to take some time. And if you think about the magnetic field that that we're being bombarded with, all of this. If you just think about the microwave, and what that does to your food. So basically, it's the same type of impact that, like, the microwave has on your food, these solar storms have on us. We're just being bombarded with all of this, magnetic energy and radiation, and it's not healthy. So just keep yourself grounded, and again, try to keep your water mineral balance. I can't stress that enough.
That sounds great. Just like our ancestors have done for 2 million years, right? Go outside and walk.
Well, and speaking of that, so let me also just say this one last thing. Your blood type has a lot to do with how you feel also during solar storms, because of your DNA, your light body, your DNA. It's all relative. So people who have maybe Rh negative blood, or different types of blood, you're going to feel the solar storms more. So it's important to know your blood type, and it's important to really study that and understand how that impacts you. The foods that you need to eat, to help keep you balanced for your blood type, that's important also. Plasma, you were talking about plasma. We, we are red blood cells, we have plasma. So, yes. I mean, it's none of this is random. Exactly. It's not random. We're not random,
No.
we are divinely created with a lot of meticulous thought.
We just got to work on the flow, all the structure's there. So we just got to do the flow to move through as effectively, efficiently as we can, and with love, right? Because we're here.
Well, and just to remember, so many people, we have amnesia. We forget that we're electrical light beings, and all of this affects us. Yeah. And the storms are supposed to, I believe that he updated that we're supposed to be having these solar storms for 10 days. And I know they've already, people have already started to feel them, like at the beginning of this week, maybe around Tuesday or so, if people started having headaches or just feeling more tired this whole week. And over this weekend, like starting tonight, we're really going to feel the impact. And so, choose your words wisely. Watch your word hole this weekend. Yes, because exactly.
Yes.
You really, pick your battles, and just choose to not have any this weekend. Yeah, exactly. Because it's really, a lot of people are really going to be off, and just give people a little bit of room, and give yourself room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. And as Heidi said, you could have extreme medical issues going on, but you also could have some little small personal issues for you. You may find you or other people are angry, you're irritable, you just seem restless, or maybe I can imagine you'd be sleepy during all this, but maybe that's how you process
Some
energy.
people
So you're
are.
doing something, totally different.
Some people are.
In
Yeah.
normal time. So so make sure you're aware of those changes going on. And so let me take you to another slide then, and we'll discuss what can we do to help overcome some of this. Okay. So I want you to remember those, all of us have an alpha sphere, right? We have that aloha bubble around us. But those of you shamans who have activated your personal Merkabas, your Merkaba is already programmed to deal with this type of energy, right? That's what that little point is at the very top. It's going to absorb these energies, but you may want to just go ahead and remind it that that's what you want it to do. You want it to absorb. We don't want it to deflect, right? We want to absorb this energy and use it. We want to transmute it some way. So when we talk about transmuting energy, we're talking about clearing and blessing with that energy. And we want to use that for ascension. Again, I'm not talking about moving to 4D, 5D physically as we move on, but I'm talking about using it as far as allowing you to be aware of the love in and around you, okay? Because that is ascension. It's going to help us with our awareness, our overall, not only personal consciousness, but our divine consciousness. So it'll take us into galactic citizenship, being a student, being a true helper for Mother Earth and for humanity. And of course, then we're going to be able to use it also for self-healing. And the planet, of course, is going to use it for healing. So like I said earlier in the show, the sun and Mother Earth, Father, Son, and Mother Earth, they are sentient beings. They know what they're doing. They communicate all the time. When you see the Northern Lights, I remember Drumblow taught us back in 2011 there in Sedona. He says, "Oh, the Northern Lights are so pretty." He goes, "Do you really know what that is?" And he goes, "That's called sex between Father, Son, and Mother Earth." And that's what that is. So just think, it's this plasmic sex, right? So when we see those that beautiful aurora borealis, right? That's just the Father, Son, and Mother Earth being together. So we know that they're here to help us in our ascension consciousness. They're here to help us in our healing. So know that everything is structured at a specific time and place. So nothing is just random. Now, there are talks that later on, maybe another 15 years, we could have a micronova, which would be a rather large coronal mass ejection. And, the thinking there is that all electronics will be fried. Those who have nanobytes in their body, like many of the other energies here on Earth, some of them have that in their bodies because they're controlled by that. Well, all that'll be fried. So it may be a time that's when our transition is. It's Mother makes her time to go to 4D. So with your Merkaba then, just know that whenever we program a Merkaba, and so for every person who has had their Merkabas in classes that we've had, whenever Jeanne and I do something with our Merkaba, when we add in a new set of instructions, it automatically gets downloaded to your Merkaba. Okay? So my children, grandchildren have that. Jeanne and I have it, of course, and then all the folks that have had classes with us. Think of it as a Facebook post. You put a Facebook post on, and then maybe 5 minutes later, you said, "Oh, I should have added this." So you go back and you do an edit, and you put it on the Facebook post, and then it's updated for everyone else. Okay, so if it can work that way in Facebook, surely when we're talking about eternal spiritual natures of Merkabic energy, it's able to do the same thing there. So whenever we make an upgrade, or wherever we send love and light to our Merkabas, which I do every morning, every night, we do that. Okay, so when we do that, there's an automatic upgrade, and that counts for all the Merkabas that we placed while we're in Bermuda along the Atlantic Ocean, and those are the shamans when we were in Hawaii and Maui. And we placed the Pacific continental Merkabas along the Pacific Ocean, right? And then also we've got one where we placed over Malta that goes all the way from North Pole to South Pole to get the Mediterranean, some of Africa. And I believe the Tibetan monks were going to take care of the Indian Ocean, okay? So just make sure you program your Merkaba to absorb and transmute this wonderful energy coming in. Tell your Merkaba you want to use it for ascension, awareness, consciousness, and self-healing. Now, what about the folks that don't have their Merkabas activated? Remember that all of our Merkabas were deactivated at the fall of Atlantis. So we're looking at 12,000 years here. Okay? So you have to consciously reactivate it. Almost have to boost it, just like you'd, start a car, jumper cables on a car battery, same thing. So when we reactivate the Merkaba through our heart, because that way it's a love Merkaba and it lasts forever until your body passes. So if you just have an Aloha bubble, then you want to make sure you program your Aloha bubble for the same thing. As this energy comes in, we don't want to deflect it, right? Just no more than we would want to deflect sunlight. Right? So tell your Aloha bubble to absorb and transmute this energy for ascension or love consciousness, right? Awareness, ascension and Aloha consciousness, and for self-healing and allowing to go any part of the physical body it needs to, all 100 trillion cells. Remember, we have 10 trillion cells physically, and then we have about 90 trillion bacteria cells. So we want all those people to be happy, right? So use it and tell your Aloha bubble to move that energy around as you go throughout the day. Now, be aware of your chakras. Notice if you're feeling anything in the perineum, in the navel, the solar plexus, the heart, throat, the third eye, and the crown. Be very aware of that. Also be aware of any other body part that seems to be tingling or maybe numb in some way. Maybe you have a ticklish feeling. It could be warm or cool. So make sure you're aware of that and listen to your body and allow your body to use that energy for healing, because your body knows. And it knows that all this energy is the same energy. It's the energy of love and Aloha from our one infinite creator. Okay? So program your energy field to be on high alert, because these things are coming, and the way it's coming, just imagine it's like waves in the ocean coming. Well, they're not all moving at the same speed. So actually it looks like from the show that Suspicious Observers showed this morning, when they showed, it's called an emerald spiral. It shows the progression of the wave coming. And it looks like some of the later waves are actually going faster. So they've caught up with the earlier waves. So what's that going to do? Is that going to magnify it even more? So now you got a wave on top of a wave coming in. So just be aware of what's going on. And it's not just this weekend. It could last all the way to Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay? So just be aware of who you are, what you're eating, your sleep patterns, how you're speaking. Make sure you stay in love consciousness, because regardless of where we are, regardless of the situation, we can be loving in mind, body, and spirit. Okay, so work on that Merkaba, Aloha bubble for this time that we're in. Okay, good. All right, let me get us back to HEIDI. HEIDI, anything you want to add to that, or any thoughts come up about how to work and with your energy field around your chakras, meridians, anything other than you being a Qigong person, right? You can do Qigong and process that energy like you do.
You can. Yeah. So basically just, everything that I said before, I just, people get so confused, and they get discouraged because they overcomplicate everything. You just don't overcomplicate stuff. Like if we're using words that you don't understand, just forget that and just take what you do understand and use that. And if you need explanation on something or whatever, we're always here to explain. But again, all the stuff that's happening right now, if you feel lost, just really keep everything simple. Understand the best medicine's free. Understand that you can always reset your nervous system. Water will reset your nervous system just like that. So if you're feeling out of sorts, go drink a glass of water. Seriously, it works. If you're feeling out of sorts, take your shoes off, go stand outside, in the grass, or on the dirt or whatever, and, reset your nervous system. That's all you have to do. And just take some deep breaths and just relax. again, you know, there's so much stuff. There's a million people on on the internet making videos that, you know, some of them, some people say, you know, it's just too much. I don't understand. Keep it really simple and just stay with whatever you feel comfortable with. Don't overwhelm yourself, because honestly, that causes more like panic and anxiety and, you know, whatever. So just keep everything really simple. Whatever you feel, whatever you feel called to do. Again, just listen to your own body. And if there's something that somebody says that resonates with you, take it. And if not, just forget it. Just don't even worry about it, because information comes in the time that we're meant to have it. So if none of this makes any sense to you, don't worry about it, and just go about your day, and just understand that, you know, people are going to be on edge, and some people are going to be sad. Some people are not going to feel like leaving their house, you know, whatever. So just understand that that's what it is, and forget about all these big words and all this stuff, and, you know, whatever, and just understand that, you know, the earth is going through transition. We're, you know, we are definitely affected by it through our biochemistry. And that simply just means our makeup. And so, you know, just understand that that's what's happening right now. And one thing that I do want to point out about the electronics is that everything electronic, it does affect our electronics. And so you might notice like glitches with your stuff. It might not work. You know, certain things in your house kind of go off and on or whatever, but mainly like your cell phone, your computer, stuff like that. So one thing I want to say for parents, you know, start now practicing getting your children off of the computers and off of the screens and off of the games. Get them outside. It's
Yes.
so important. You have no idea, because here's the deal. You're going to be dealing with like a little demon child, you know, when things, you know, happen, because eventually things are going to happen. You know, will you be alive for that? I don't know. But, you know, I'm sure the earth has gone through this before, and I'm sure it's going to go through it again. It's, you know, it's this whole cycle. So, you know, we just happen to be here for it, and it's pretty cool.
Yes, indeed. We did good.
So just stay awake. Yeah, I mean, it really is. All this stuff is just so awesome. So just stay awake and really, really, really get your children outside. Save yourself. I'm telling you, if for no other reason other than self-preservation, parents,
Yes.
get your children off the screens and get them outside, and get them off the sugar too, and the dyes. So yeah, that's what I that's my wisdom for tonight.
Good. Very good. So do the KISS principle, right? So keep it simple, shaman, right? So that's what we're going to do. Get back to basics.
Yeah. Just be, you know, really. Yes.
You know, you know how to be still on the inside. You know how to find a quiet place within you to be calm, be balanced, be in harmony. And that's what it's going to take. If this happens to be an awakening for you, and you heard us say some things, well, I have no idea what they just said. Well, maybe it's time that this will give you some sort of motivation to educate and learn different things, right? Learn about energy healing. Yes, do your research. YouTube is a plethora of people on there like me and Heidi and Jeanne, and we're all talking about all kinds of things, right? So research all that, read some books, take classes, right? You've got to be around people who know these things. So make sure you know what your intuition is telling you and follow it. Be proactive in your education, because you're here for some reason. And we want to make sure that you're here and you're healthy and you're lively and you're positive, and we're here to serve as many people as we can.
And to help
any
you
lasting thoughts for
remember,
anybody
to help you remember, bring yourself back to whole and come out of that amnesia.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, time to wake up, right? Wake up, wake up, wake up. Hear the alarm
Yes,
going, quit
wake
hitting
the
the
fuck
snooze
up.
button. It's time to be all out. Feet on the floor. That's right.
Yeah.
Grab that coffee and tea and head off to do your service to humanity, right? Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Heidi, for joining us tonight. I know this was last minute, so glad we could pull that together. So thank you for all your wisdom. I hope you have a wonderful solar flare energy up there where you are up north. So good. So thanks for being down here with us. We'll talk after the show. Yeah, if you want to send those links to the other guy, send it to me and I'll put in the show notes. Otherwise, if anybody has any questions for Heidi, just yes, you bet. Just send the stuff to us, send us an email or message, and I'll get it to Heidi. Okay. So thanks for being here. Remember, be calm, be balanced, be harmony. Let me give you a slide to help remember who you are. Okay. Let me pull that up. One more. So remember, we all live in this beautiful diamond, even a diamond full of solar flares, right? We're one diamond. We live on each one of these facets for a lifetime, and then we move on and we do another facet. That's who we are. Everybody's here inside this beautiful, soulful diamond. And just remember, you are divine. So look awesome, look beautiful, and be perfect. Look, act, and be all these things. Awesome, beautiful, and perfect, because that's your default. You are a divine being. Okay? So make sure you do that. Make sure you stay happy, stay loving, and we'll send you on your way. And thank you for being here with us tonight, Heidi. Okay. Much aloha.
And happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day, everyone. Good. All right, let's do a pow. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, pow. Thank you very much. Yes, happy Mother's Day. Remember the number one job on the planet, being a mother. So thank you for being here and doing that. So you take care. We love y'all. Have a happy time with the solar flare, solar energy. Okay, much aloha. Aloha.